while.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a journey, but it's good to be back with you. And
yes,
so,
I'm so excited.
You know, we are excited to be with you, and so if you get a chance to share this, maybe you know somebody that could use a little encouraging today on a kind of a gloomy day. But hey, it's Tuesday, which means, you know what?
What's it mean?
It means tomorrow's Wednesday. And
Wednesday's tomorrow already?
Hey,
Wow.
Yeah, you gotta follow me for more great inspiration, okay? So, but anyway, hey, we're glad that you're with us. We've been away, and not away, but we decided, you know, why don't we try to have COVID again?
Oh yeah, I think that's a great idea.
So we decided to do that, and so
it took us out for a few weeks.
You know, we had a really bad head cold and whatever.
Head cold, we had COVID.
Yes, just to be on the safe side, I was thinking maybe since I'm sitting next to you.
No, please.
Oh, there goes my glasses. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, we're feeling much better. We had an amazing time this weekend, and actually, well, if you backtrack a little bit, Resurrection Sunday, Easter Sunday, we had a great day.
I wasn't there, but hey,
you were still recovering.
I was recovering,
but I had a great day.
Yes.
No, it was a pretty good day, though.
I mean, it was great in bed.
Yeah.
But Jesus did die for us, right?
And he
rose
rose
again.
Yeah, so that's the greatest news forever.
Exactly.
So who we got on with us this morning?
Well, I saw a few people. Kathy Ortega, you are the number one fan.
Number one fan. We have to send Kathy a cup.
Oh, that would be awesome, right?
Yes.
Jillian's on.
Jillian, Rawson, Smith. Well, hello, how are you? Walker Smith. She knows. I'm just kidding. Jillian's one of our worship leaders, and great to have you, Jillian.
Yes.
Wait, you might be at work.
It's okay. She has her headphones.
Oh, okay, good.
She doesn't need that.
So who else is with us?
So far, that's who else.
We have an amazing following of two. All right, great.
It's okay, though.
You know what? It's all right. We've been away for a while, so out of sight, out of mind. People forget about it. People forget, but it's okay. Anyway, we will not forget how awesome coffee is.
Oh, come on. I know Jillian doesn't like coffee. She likes Pepsi. Kathy, do you like coffee?
Come on. We're praying for Jillian. And
she might not be drinking Pepsi anymore. It could be water.
Seltzer. Just look at the bubbles with none of the regret.
Oh.
Yeah, all right. Well, listen, this past weekend we had a great time, and we want to just encourage you. We had what we call Friends Day, and we have been in a series all about friends and how we're friends of Jesus. And it really kind of came together this weekend we had a lot of new faces and a lot of people that came out to really see, you know, what is New Song Church all about, and what does it mean to be part of a community of people. And you did a great job, by the way. I was actually a guest speaker at another church this weekend, and so you and Pastor Barbara and Pastor Maria, everybody just kind of came together and did a great job, and then I kind of snuck in there at the end. But hey,
you did. You snuck in. I didn't even know he was there. That is amazing, because I can usually feel if he's in the air, but no.
Oh, your spidey senses go out.
Yes, my spidey senses.
If I walk in the room.
I was like, where are you? Texting him, like, you better be here.
No, I was driving like 110 down 95. I was like, no, I'm just kidding. It's more than 100. But anyway, I got there, and it was awesome. But so we had a lot of good things, and so you might be watching this. Obviously, not right now.
It could be later.
It could be later. It might be evening where you are. It might wherever you're watching this. So good evening.
Good evening on Tuesday.
Good day.
Good day.
Wherever you might be. But you're thinking, what is, a church? Because most people, and I think that this is what you were talking about a little bit on Sunday, was most people think that the church is really, a place you go.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a building. It's a place that you go, but the church is so much more than that.
Way more than that.
And we are the church, and it's the people that make up the church.
Right.
And so it's not just like a building. it's a movement of people.
Yeah, I mean, I think about, when Jesus was alive in his time in ministry, most of the time he was probably outside, right? And he was ministering and he was with people. And so the church building, per se, wasn't really that. And so we need to get back to being able to just minister and love people in our communities, love people where we work, and just be the church in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great point, because when you open up the book of Acts and we see the church just really exploding in growth, they did come together and meet corporately, but they also met throughout the week, house to house and other areas. So it was more than just meeting corporately together. And so really we are a community. And here's the deal. I think what we're trying to convey is that if you are a follower of Christ, you're a follower of Jesus, then you need to be in community with other followers of Jesus. This is not something that we can do alone, because at least we're not meant to do it alone. Right? I mean, you can just kind of go off by yourself and sort of like be a monk, like the old school, shut yourself out from the rest of the world. But most people don't want to do that. No. And I think that in the idea, in the context of community, we're better and we're stronger together. And so what we did really was talk about how New Song Church is in the community, but we are a community, we are a family, and really you shared our mission, our vision. Yes. And you want to share that?
You could do that.
Oh.
I think that,
I didn't want to steal your thunder.
He wasn't there Sunday, hey, Santonio says hey, and Kay McIntosh says hey.
Good morning.
Katrina Miller's watching.
Hey.
Hey.
Katrina.
Santonio.
All right.
Hey.
So our mission.
What is New Song's mission?
Our mission, and it's a mission that it's really based from the gospel, and a lot of churches will have like a mission statement. Our mission statement is this: we exist. The reason why New Song Church is here is to reach people. Yeah. Okay? So we're here to reach people who are far away from God. In other words, they don't have a relationship with God. Maybe they're seeking God. Maybe they have no idea about who God is.
Or maybe they had a relationship and kind of fell away.
And all of a sudden now they feel like, oh, I can't ever come back, into that relationship.
I'm not good enough.
So our goal is to reach those kind of people. Reach people like me, like you, like reach people, get to know them, and help them. What do? We help them become fully devoted followers of Jesus, one step at a time. So every step of the way, we it's a process, it's a journey. Right. None of us are perfect.
Oh, it is such a journey. And it's a lifelong journey. It's not, I get to know Jesus and everything's great. It's no, I'm gonna love Jesus, let him into my heart and my life, and then let's see where he takes me.
Right. And so the thing is that, listen, when we're part of community, it helps making these next steps much easier. And if you're watching, maybe you can think of, when you have a really good friend, think of it outside of a spiritual context. Think about you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to get in shape, you go to the gym. You're always better when you're with somebody and somebody else is pushing you along, and say, come on, we can do this together, that type of thing. Yeah. The same is true in the church world, in the community. A church should be helping each other, praying for each other, moving each other along, that we would get to know God personally. So if you're watching right now, at whatever time it is, wherever you are, we want to let you know that God loves you, and that, listen, you can get to know him personally, that he wants to know you relationally, and that there's forgiveness, there's mercy, there's grace for you. And we want you to get involved in a local church. Yes. Whether if you're around the New York City area, around the Bronx, the tri-state, then you can come to us. But listen, if you're not, then more than likely there's a life-giving church somewhere in your community that you can be part of.
Yes, absolutely. I know that for Pastor Mike and I, or for me, I should say. I can't speak for his walk, but you know, we ended up becoming great friends with some pastors, and we just walked with them.
We just did life together.
We actually never even had a Bible study. We just literally walked with them, and I fell deeply in love just watching other people, and they just were loving me for me.
Learning from other people.
Exactly. And so I think that that's so huge that we stay connected with people that, you know, just want to love you and help you on your journey.
Yeah. And so what we do at New Song Church, and it might be different in different churches, but what we do is we break everything down into our spiritual journey into steps that would be, you know, attainable steps, you know. And so just like, again, using a workout analogy, you don't just start out
working out here.
You don't just start working out at your mat at max, you know, because you won't be able to do anything like for a week. Yeah, you ever try to do that? You know?
Yes, I have actually.
And then you can't even walk up the stairs, right?
Yeah.
Because your legs hurt.
Done
whatever. Can't raise your hand because your arms hurt. So no, we don't.
That.
Yeah. So we have some next steps that have been really proven to help us in our journey. And so every single one of us starts at the first step, which is what? Our first step.
Find freedom.
No, that's our second step.
No God.
Yeah, you better have some more of that.
I think so.
It's to know God. It's to know God.
Sorry about that. I do know this.
Yeah, wow, I can't believe it. Hold on a second, I'm writing this down. Do not know first step. Pray for Cyndie. Okay. So the first step in our journey is to get to know God. And by the way, this step is an ongoing step. We're always getting as soon as you
I'll
say
like
this,
I said,
as soon
it's a
as
lifeline.
if you think as soon as you got God all figured out, then He stops being God.
Yeah.
There's always God is so big and He's so deep and He's so wide that there's just no way we could ever really fully know Him.
One day, when we're in eternity.
But we're on a journey to get to know Him.
Yes.
In fact, the Apostle Paul prays for the church, and he says in Ephesians chapter 1, I pray that you may know Him better.
Yeah.
That's a great prayer.
Yeah.
I pray that you would get to know Him better, or in other words, personally. Mm-hmm. He wants you to get to know Him and continue to know Him. So that's kind of what you shared. Right? I mean, I just recapped what you shared. You should have shared what you shared. But.
Anyways, so I just wanted to let you know as well that this step is not just for people that are at New Song. This step is for any person that's a believer. Mm-hmm. So, you know.
Yeah, or not yet a really believer, like when you're kind of seeking, you're trying to know God. So.
But I mean, it's actually worldwide. So this step is something that we do at our church, but the church, I'm sure, any church you go to would want this for you.
Yeah, they'll have like some sort of a place where you can get to know God, and the best way to get to know God is by opening up His Word and reading His Word. His Word speaks to us, right?
Absolutely.
And so people say, I need a word from the Lord. Well, listen, open up the Bible and read it. That's how you're going to get your word from the Lord for real. You know what I mean? And so, also coming together in a context of corporate worship, which, by the way, is something that a lot of people have gotten out of because of COVID and because of the pandemic, because of fear and all these things.
Or just, hey, I could turn on the TV and watch it.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I'm glad that you're doing that, but you really should be at your local church, being around one another to what? Lift them up.
Yeah, and I would say this, you know what, when you're really hungry, you can turn on the TV and watch the Food Network all day, but you never get fed.
Whoa, that's so good!
Thank you! So yeah, you can turn on and you can watch some of the greatest preachers in our world, in our country, preach some amazing sermons, but you know what, when it gets down to it and you need prayer, you need to call somebody. Try calling T.D. Jakes up and seeing if you can have a conversation with him. Try calling Stephen Furtick up and Joel Osteen. See how far you get. You know what I'm saying? And nothing against those guys, but you need a pastor. You need a shepherd. Somebody that you can talk to, that you can literally see face to face and talk to. Those guys have their own congregations. And the online world is amazing, but listen, it's limited. Right. And so you are not going to continue to get to know God if you're just watching online all the time. You're not going to grow in the where you're at the level you need to grow.
True.
I'm preaching to somebody today. Somebody will get
People are amening you. We got Nordia on. Adrian and Nancy.
So
just saying.
So just saying. So again, nothing against. Listen, if we had the capability to be online, live streaming, we would. It's kind of not. You know what? Here's the thing. It's a double-edged sword for me.
Really?
Yes. Because I want to be live streaming to be able to help,
of course,
the people that can't get to us physically.
Right.
But on the other hand, I don't, because New Song is so special that I want people to experience it in person, and I want so there so as soon as we record it, it is recorded and it's processed, and then we put it up on our YouTube later. But if you want to experience it live, you gotta be there, and there is something special about that, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just me. Maybe. I don't know.
It is him, but he talks a lot today. He must have had 3 cups.
This is my third cup.
This is only my first, really.
Whatever. Anyway, Pastor Barbara then shared after you. Do you want to share what she shared, or do you just want me to keep going? You gonna help me out?
Listen to him. He's talking a mile a minute, guys.
No. Well, the second step is what?
Find freedom.
She knew that one.
I knew it.
And so
how do we
find
no,
freedom?
how do we?
No, how do we? Well,
how you doing?
Don't make me start using Friends references. Okay, listen. Jesus said that who the Son sets free is
free indeed.
Is free indeed. And so one of the ways that we find freedom in our walk with God is literally doing life together.
Yeah.
And when we experience life together, it brings accountability.
Yeah.
It brings support.
Yeah.
We have prayer support. Mm-hmm. We have correction when we need it in a loving way, right? We have all these different things. So that's how we find freedom. And here's the deal. A lot of followers of God have a lot of life controlling issues that they keep to themselves because of embarrassment, because of I don't know, maybe because of pride, right? Because they don't want to admit that they have issues. And it could be anything. But we find that when, in fact, it's scriptural, confess to one another.
Yeah.
And pray for each other. Pray the prayer of faith for each other, that God would move and heal.
True.
And so in our context, at New Song, we have life groups, which people coming together. Now, it's been a while since people have come together physically in physical life groups, but we have Bible studies, and we have other small groups, special groups. You've done women's group multiple times where we've had women's groups.
I love to be a part of leading women, because I believe that, that's a gift God's given me, to love women and to bring them to wherever they are called. Because, a lot of times we just stay stuck. And God wants to lead you out.
There you go. And so Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another.
Right.
Again, this is just in the context of family, of relationship, and how we really, really, really need each other.
That's true.
And so, everything we do, from the kids all the way up to grown kids like me and you.
I didn't realize I was a kid, but
Oh, you're a kid.
Middle age. Anyway,
okay.
Go ahead with yourself.
So anyways, and so we're learning how to have community together. And man, you know what? Over the last, New Song's 8 years old.
Yes, 8 years.
8 years old. Can you believe it?
8 years young.
Young. Anyways,
we're like just babies.
We're just beginning.
Yeah.
We've only just begun. Flashback. All right. Anyway, So we're reaching other communities. We're reaching the deaf community.
Yes.
Pastor Maria shared about how,
You did a great job by that.
and you may not, as you're throwing your phone, you may not realize this, but Co-op City in the Bronx has a large deaf community.
Yeah.
There's actually a whole building of deaf that live there, and we're really just scratching the surface of reaching. Now remember, what's our goal? To reach people.
Yeah.
Well, we're reaching deaf people, and Pastor Maria is doing an amazing job reaching deaf people and really teaching and preaching the gospel of Jesus in their own language. Now, how important is that?
That's huge.
You know, if I was speaking to you in Portuguese right now, unless you're Portuguese, you wouldn't understand. Well, guess what? The deaf, they speak their own language. It's American Sign Language, and the way that they communicate is way different than the way that I communicate. So we decided, you know what? In order for us to make fully devoted disciples that are going to then go and make disciples, which is what our mission is.
Yeah.
They need to have their own thing, and they need to start reaching.
So what happened?
Wow, we started New Song Deaf Church this year, and it's going amazing. And we're seeing God do some amazing things. And again, we've only just begun. So.
Sorry, now
The best is yet to go. You want to sing it?
No.
You will do? Okay.
No.
All right. So then we talked about Jacob and Elise.
Yeah. They talked about being, connecting the youth. Why is it that we want to connect the youth? Because if we don't, the world is going to connect with them. And Christ loves the youth. He wants to love them and have a relationship with them, and also, to build the next generation. If we're not building the next generation of believers, then we're losing. So every teenager, every youth has a home at New Song Church. They meet on Friday nights, and they have their own time to be able to be transparent with their age, which is so important.
It's so true, and here's the bottom line. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
He's singing a song.
No, I just made that up.
Yeah, right.
No, but anyway, yes, shout out to Whitney Houston. But listen,
Whitney.
The children are our future. And the grayer that we get in the church, we better be reaching the next generation, right? Like, a church is only as good as the next generation that's coming up, and so we believe that not just molding our children into the way that they should go, which of course is the parents' job, but also listen, we've got teenagers that are literally. And young adults that are literally leading the way. We have, Elise and Jacob are young adults that are leading the way in our church. We've got teenagers on our worship team.
Yeah. Well, that's
not just because
that teenager now.
I was talking about Cooper.
Oh yeah, Cooper, the guitar player.
Yes.
His teenager.
Yes, he is.
Sorry.
Anyway, we're molding up. We're bringing up. We're teaching as God gives them their gifts and talents and ability, and we're putting them to work. Why shouldn't they be serving when they have such great gifts and talents and ability,
he's
just
talented.
like us? And so we want to help do that, and that led to what Pastor Dustin shared about discovering your purpose.
Yeah.
Like every single one of us have a gift and a way that we God has gifted us to be able to use in the context of not only of the local church, but just in life, like all for God's glory.
Yeah.
It wasn't until we started serving. I think way back.
Way back.
You didn't have to go that far back.
It's that far back.
All right. Well, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, before we were in ministry, we didn't really start growing until we started
I think
serving.
it was about 5 years we sat in the church, and people kept asking us if we were new because we didn't
Well, that's because we were
know.
inconsistent.
But still, 5 years?
True, it's true. We were very sluggish.
Well, not only that, broken. We were broken people, afraid of the church, afraid of what people would say, think, and and so that's why we're so just in love with this model to love people and bring you in so that you don't have to wait 5 years.
Yeah, please don't wait 5 years. Yeah, anyways, but yeah, that's when we really started to grow when we started to serve.
100%.
And Ephesians chapter 2 says, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works." And so God's given us abilities and talents.
Yeah.
And we have different steps through the growth track to be able to help you do that. We have a growth track. Other churches will have some sort of a plan in place to help you do that.
Yeah.
And so we want to help you with that. And the last thing was what?
Make a difference.
Make a difference. She gets an A. Make a difference. Like take those.
You get an A too.
A.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? Anyways, make a difference. Take your gifts, your abilities, your talents, and use them for the glory of God. And so then we had Delissa shared about how we're reaching people, outreach, and then Pastor Terry Rosh, our missionary to Panama.
Which he was our youth pastor to our children.
Long time ago.
In the galaxy far,
before
far
he was a
away.
missionary, him and his wife, Bridget, yes. And he just shared about giving hope. And so how when you're involved with a local church, your reach goes further than your borders. It goes all over the world. And so he shared what you're doing when you give to missions, when you pray for missions. He shared what you're doing, how you're helping to reach.
He had an acronym and I didn't.
It was hope.
Yeah, I know, but there was words and I can't remember the words, so.
If anybody remembers the acronym,
I really loved the acronym that he did. It was very inspiring.
I wasn't taking notes because I
know, you were in the back, but I'm a note taker.
You should have memorized it, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Very disappointed. So anyway, as we land this plane this morning and really end our time together, we want to let you know that we're on mission. And so if you're part of New Song, you're interested in becoming part of a family. You're interested in taking your next step, whatever that is. Even if you're not around us, but you want to just reach out to us, say, hey, can you help me find a good life-giving church in your area? Listen, hit us up. Contact us.
Call the church office.
It's no secret. We put our information out there so that it's on you. You need to connect with us so that we can help you grow in your relationship. If you are part of the tri-state area, you don't have a local church. We have
a seat with your name on it.
We have a seat with your name on it, and so we want you to help us. How would you help us help you? That's just help us help you. Reach out. You've got to let us know. Did you know that mind reading is not one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit?
Are you kidding me?
It's really not. Let me see. Yeah, I have no idea what you're thinking. So anyway, you got to reach out to us. You got to help us help you. And speaking of us helping you, this weekend we're starting a brand new series.
Yes, we are. Why don't you tell us about that?
We are. Well, first of all, I'm shedding a tear because Friends.
Oh wait.
The Friends series is over, and it was really good.
It was good. It was great.
We learned a lot. Sorry.
He needs to go back to acting.
Anyway, I never took an acting class. This is just being the oldest kid and trying to get out of trouble. Anyway, but we are starting a brand new series, and guess what it is? It's called What Happens to You When You Die.
Oh.
I know it sounds pretty, but here's the thing.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I have to end it. 1 second, guys. Hope is help others prepare for eternity.
Thank you.
That I just had to say it.
All right, so let's take that acronym. Help others prepare for eternity.
Oh.
This is going to be This is a great series because it's going to be talking all about eternity. And everybody has that question at some point in their life. Hey, what does happen? And here's the thing. Our world doesn't really help us because there's so many different answers to the question, so many different opinions. You know, some will say, well, nothing happens, you just cease to exist, you just die,
You're dirt.
You're just dead, you just go become back to ashes. You know, or ashes to ashes. Some people believe you become reincarnated. Some people believe you become a ghost like Patrick Swayze. Some people, you know, in the movie, and you know, whatever. And then so some people believe you become an angel, you know, or a chubby baby with wings. I don't know, but
we're gonna bring the truth.
We're gonna look into the Word of God, which is the truth that we believe and hold with the utmost authority, and say this is what God says, and so this is a great opportunity for you to invite people that are asking this question. Maybe you're asking this question. So what we want you to do is just commit to the next 4 weeks. Hey, you know what? The next 4 weeks we're going to be talking about eternity. We're going to be talking about, is heaven a real place? And if it is, how do I get there? Come on. Is hell a real place? And how do I avoid it? You know, all these different things. So we want you to invite your friends. We want you to ask questions. We want you to engage.
Bring people.
Because it's going to be very, very eye-opening. And I believe God's going to use this series to usher people in to eternity.
Oh, absolutely.
And not only that, but we also know, those of us that are following God, that He gives us power to live life here and really enjoy it. Because there's so many people that are afraid of death that they're not even living life right now.
Yeah. That's the truth.
So it's going to be a great series, and we want to invite you to be part of that.
Absolutely.
All right. So
I was just thinking of Bill Hybels, how he says the church is the hope of the world. And, you know, we are the hope, not we, but Jesus is the hope of the world. And it's because Jesus lives in us that we can bring the hope of the world to others.
Right. That's true. And, you know, we are the light of the world because Jesus is inside of it.
Yeah, and we're shining.
Yeah, and so we need to let our light shine bright. You know, we need to be able to do that.
And so, light of my
here we go.
Sorry, but, you know.
We've referenced many different people today, but the most person we want to reference is Jesus. So, listen, what do we got going on this week? Well, we have Bible study tomorrow night on Zoom, Genesis chapter 2. Check it out.
Bring your friends.
It's on Zoom. It's a Zoom meeting.
I mean,
yeah. So it'll be easy.
Yeah.
And then, what do we got going on this weekend? It's a pretty light weekend.
Yeah, it's a light weekend.
So you have plenty of time to invite your friends.
Yes.
So, listen, we love you. We're here for you. And we want to encourage you to continue in your walk with God, knowing God, finding freedom, discovering your purpose, making a difference. Help us help you as God helps us, all right? So we love you guys, and we will see you.